and welcome back to Witchcraft with the Arthritic Artisan. My name is Sandra. So what do you do when you find something not so great at Dollar Tree? For example, this tinsel covered Easter bunny head. Well, you rip it apart and you turn it into something really great, like this absolutely darling bunny rabbit girl with her little floral bouquet and dress. So if you're ready, let's get started with a list of supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need one of those tinsel covered heads, and then you're going to rip the tinsel off and all the glued on bits and pieces, and you're going to toss it aside. You are going to want to save one of those little buttons that came on it as eyes, and we're going to use that for the nose. You're going to need a couple of the hair rollers from Dollar Tree, some fabric, a pair of shoes, or you can make your own, some muslin, some flowers, a cone, your hot glue gun, a craft knife, your fabric scissors, your not fabric scissors, some jute twine, a styrofoam ball, and the kitchen sink. All right, we are going to start by opening up the shoes, unlacing those pretty little sneakers, and we're going to cut a foam ball in half. And since it's too large to fit inside the shoe, we are just going to cut the sides off and just make it wide enough to fit down in that shoe. That's going to help stabilize the legs and the dowel rod when we put it inside. We're going to take one of those foam rollers for your hair, and we are going to take the wire out from the inside. Keep the wires and put the little buttons to the side. Now, hot glue will not stick to these rollers. It just melts them. You need to cut off about 2 inches, and since hot glue melts it, we are going to roll and wrap it in some muslin, and that will create a surface that will hold the heat of the glue for when we attach the fur. Now you're going to take a piece of fur and you're going to cut 2 pieces about 5 inches by 3 inches. And this is going to be wrapped around that foam roller, and this is going to form the leg. I hope I'm not going too fast for you. When you cut through fur, you only want to cut through the backing. You don't want to cut the actual fur. That's how you get the flyaways and all that extra unnecessary fur rubbish that gets on everything. You're going to add some glue to the muslin on the rollers, and you are going to roll that fur around, and then once you have it rolled around, you're just going to trim off the excess fur from the bottom. Next, we are going to take a dowel rod and you're going to cut it in half to 5 inches. These were 10-inch dowel rods and I cut them in half. And you're going to poke that right down into that roller, and then you're going to put it into the foam that's in the shoe. Make your hole, pull it out, fill that with glue, and stick that leg back in. You're going to add quite a bit of hot glue down in there. Don't be shy, be generous with it, because this is going to support the weight of your doll. Once you have those done, just set those aside. And when you tie those shoes back, I recommend hot gluing those shoelaces together so that nobody is tempted to untie the shoes, which has happened to me in the past. Next, you're going to want to cut 2 pieces of fur, 2 inches by 7 inches, and those wires that we took out of the hair rollers, and we are going to hot glue those down in the center about 1 inch from one of the ends of fur. Next, you're going to run a line of hot glue along the edge of the fur, and then you're going to take that and fold it in half. What we're doing is we are making the arms. Once you get done with those, just set them aside for a moment and open the cone. You're going to need to cut a piece of fur 9 inches by 7 inches, and this is going to form the body of the bunny. You're going to want to leave about a 1/2 inch between the bottom of the cone and the edge of the fur. And then you're just going to glue the sides and wrap that fur around the cone. When you get done wrapping the fur around the cone, you're going to want to take that fur that we left hanging over and glue it to the bottom of the cone. Next, we're going to want to cut another piece of fur 9 by 9 inches, and this is going to wrap the bunny's face. So if you take that form, it comes apart into 2 pieces. Just hot glue the top portion of that form together. Then you're going to add some hot glue around the outside, lay the head down in the fur, and just wrap the fur around and hot glue it down to that plastic form. I hope that made sense. Once you have both sides of the form covered with the fur, you're going to open the ear portion and you're going to cut a slit down the center all the way down to where the plastic form starts. Now you've made your ears. You're going to take hot glue and run it along the edge of both sides of those ears and just pinch that together. There's going to be an opening in the top of each ear. Just open that up, add some hot glue to it, and then work it around in your fingers and pinch it all together. There's a nice little ear. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other ear. Hot glue on the sides, pinch that together, open that opening, add some hot glue, and work that up into a nice pointy ear. Good job, y'all. Now I'm taking some regular sewing thread and I'm wrapping it around the base of the ear and tightening it just to give a little bit of extra definition to the ears. Once we've finished with the ears, it's time to attach the arms. We're just going to take the arms and lay them over the top of the cone and hot glue them down. You're going to glue one on top of the other. Then you're going to lift the arms and add a bead of hot glue down the side of the cone, about an inch or so, and just hold that in place for a second until it dries. Now we're going to tuck all that extra fur on the head down to that little hole that's in the bottom of the form. You're going to set that aside. It's time to make a skirt. So we are going to cut a piece of fabric that is 21 inches by 10 inches. We're going to fold down a 1/4 inch seam and we are going to hot glue that into place. Now we're going to form the waist. I'm going to take some jute twine. We're going to fold a 1/2 inch seam and we are going to tuck the jute into that seam. We're going to hot glue that seam into place, being very careful not to get any hot glue on the jute. Next, we are going to take it and flip it over, and we are going to take the left side and go and meet it up with the right side, and we are going to hot glue that seam together. Start at the bottom where the bottom of the skirt is going to be and work your way towards the waist. That way, if the cut is off a little bit, it's not going to matter all that much. Now grab your bunny and shove that cone up into the opening of the head. Add some hot glue, lots of hot glue, don't be shy. And it's going to be a little bit of a struggle maybe because you're sticking a head or the body and 2 arms up into that tiny little space. Now we're going to make a little blouse for your bunny. Lift the arms up and we are going to take a piece of fabric and cut 4 by 12 inches. Next, fold down a 1/4 inch seam and hot glue that into place. You're not going to have to put a hem at the other end because it's not going to matter. It's going to be tucked down below her skirt. So once you have all that glued into place, you're going to cut another piece of fabric that's 1 inch by 10 inches. You're going to fold that in thirds and you are going to hot glue that into place. Once you have all that hot glued into place, you're going to take that piece, fold it in half, and cut it. This is going to form the straps for her little blouse. Next, take one of those pieces and glue it to the center chest part of the bunny, and then glue the back in the center of the back, and we're forming a little V shape with these straps, and you're going to do the same to the other side. Take that blouse top, wrap it tightly underneath her arms, hot glue one of the sides into place, and then you're going to fold over the other side. Find the center, fold that fabric in the center and tuck the rest of it back away, and hot glue this in the center of the fabric and hold it in place. Now it's going to be a tight wrap, so just be patient here and hold that until it dries. Then you can add some hot glue to the top and bottom of that blouse. Next, magic time! You're going to take her skirt and you're going to slip it up over her little body, and you are going to pull that jute and tie it in a bow. Don't knot it yet, we're not quite there, but just tie it in a little bow and it'll be ready. Now it's time to attach the legs, so grab those legs and we are going to shove one of those dowel rods up the bottom of that cone, make a hole, put some hot glue in it, and put that leg back on. We are going to do the same with the other leg. Just be mindful of the placement because you want the doll to stand up and you need to have it balanced. Next, we're just going to take some buffalo check ribbon, which, isn't it amazing how buffalo check ribbon goes with everything? Just everything. We're going to tie a simple little bow around her ear. Completely cute, so cute. Love her already. Now you need 4 pieces of jute 3 inches long. This is going to form her whiskers. Once you have them, you're just going to take them, put them together, and hot glue them in the center. We're going to fluff out the little whiskers, and we are going to hot glue that to her face where her little bunny nose and whiskers would go. Now we're going to take that eye that you saved from the Tinsel bunny and glue it and make her nose. If you need to trim the jute whiskers up, you can do that now. I'm putting a little bit of a fold in her ear. I just thought it was super cute. Now we can lay her down, flip her skirt up and pull that jute down under her skirt, and now you can knot it. Trim the ends. Get your lint brush, make sure she's all fluffy and clean. And we're gonna make a big oversized bow for her dress. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm a little tired right now. And we're making an oversized bow just because we want the sides of the loops to show from the front of the bunny. Don't forget to cut a dovetail in the bottom of that bow, y'all. Now it's time to make a little flower bouquet for her to hold. It is Easter after all. I always have the hardest time choosing florals. I want to use all the florals in the world in every single project, and I just know that that's not possible. So we're just taking some white, some pink, some yellow, some purple, and some leaves, and we are going to glue them together and just make her a bouquet. And just however you want her little bouquet, it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. Just keep tucking, and guess what, y'all? We're done. Let me know in the comments section below what you think about this gorgeous little bunny. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified about all future videos and projects. And until next time, have a magical day.